Good day, everyone. My name is Ryla Krishna T. Valerio, and today we will be discussing about transfer of learning. But don't worry, we'll keep it simple. So here are our learning objectives. First is define transfer of learning and explain its importance in education and everyday life. Next is differentiate the three types of transfer, the positive transfer, negative transfer, and zero transfer with relevant examples. And last is identify key factors that influence the transfer of learning and explain their educational implications. So what is transfer of learning? Transfer of learning or training is a process by which learning or training in one situation to carry it over or transfer to the other situations. So when we talked about transfer of learning, it means using what we've learned in one situations and applying it to another. For example, learning of mathematics helps in solving the numerical problems in physics. So if you are good at math, it helps when solving problems in physics. Another example, learning how to drive a car helps a person to later drive a truck. So, if you learn to drive a car, it will be easier to learn how to drive a truck. So, what do experts say? According to Sorensen 1948, transfer refers to the transfer of knowledge, training, and habits acquired in one situations to another situations. So Sorensen said it's about taking knowledge, habits, or skills from one situations and using them in another. And according to Crow and Crow 1973, the carryover of the habits of thinking, feeling, or working of knowledge or skills from one learning area to another is usually referred to as the transfer of training or learning. So Crow and Crow describes it as using the way we think, feel, or work in one area to help in another. According to Peterson, transfer of learning is generalization for it is extension of idea to a new field. Peterson called it a kind of generalizations, like spreading an idea to a new situations. So transfer of learning is divided into three types. Number 1 is positive transfer, number 2 is negative transfer, and number 3 is zero transfer. So what is positive transfer? Transfer is said to be positive when something previously learned benefits performance or learning in a new situations. This happens when something you already learned helps you in a new task. For example, if one has learned to play tennis, he finds it easier to learn to play badminton. So if you know how to play tennis, it will be easier for you to learn badminton because the movement is similar. Number 2 is negative transfer. When something previously learned hinders performance or learning in a new situations, we call it negative transfer. This happens when what you learned before gets in the way of learning something new. For example, in India, we find that the pronunciation of English words varies from region to region. If a child's mother tongue is Tamil or Gujarati, his pronunciation of English is affected by carryover of Tamil or Gujarati intonations. So some people in India speaks English with accents from their mother tongue like Tamil or Gujarati that can make it harder to pronounce English correctly. Number 3 is zero transfer. In case the previous learning makes no difference at all to the performance or learning in a new situation, there is said to be zero transfer from the previous situations to the new one. This is when learning something before doesn't help or hurt in a new situations. For example, learning history may neither help nor hinder the learning of economics. So learning history doesn't really help you when learning economics. Many factors influencing the amount and direction of transfer. So some important factors are number 1, learner's intelligence. So smarter learners may transfer knowledge more easily. And number 2, proper study habits. So the way we study, it can help us apply what we have learned. And number 3, meaningfulness of materials. So if something makes sense, it's easier to remember and use later. Number 4, the methods of teaching. So how something is taught can affect how well we can use it in real life. And the number 5, similarity of stimuli. So if two situations are alike, transfer is more likely to happen. So in educational implications, so what should teachers and students do? Number one, emphasizing the similarities between the current subjects and the situations to which the new learning will transfer. Number two, transfer takes place because of similarity of content, technique, methods, or generalizations. If a student fails to detect the similarities between two situations, transfer will not take place automatically. We have to teach keeping transfer of learning in mind. Number three, teachers should provide varied experiences. Number four, as much as possible, learning experience must be made similar to life-like situations. And number five, it is not well established that greater transfer from subject matter can be achieved by the changing the methods of teaching. In conclusion, transfer of learning is all about using what we already know to help us learn new things. Understanding this can make learning easier and more meaningful. It allows us to apply what we already know to new situations, whether it helps, hinders, or has no effect. Understanding how learning transfers can improve the way we study, teach, and solve real-life problems. By recognizing the types, factors, and educational implications, we can make learning more meaningful, practical, and lifelong. So I hope you learned something today, and I hope that you understand the lessons, which is the topic. Our topic is transfer of learning. So thank you for listening, and also thank you for watching.